One of the more interesting exchanges regarding the amount of money Christians are expected to hand over to the government in the way of taxes is found in Mark 12:14 through 17, where some religious leaders who are clearly fed up with Caesar taxing them to death decide to see if they can corner Jesus into getting them off the hook by asking whether it is lawful to give up their hard-earned money to the government. In usual godlike fashion, Jesus does what he does best: answers the religious leaders' frivolous question with a question. This one where he turns the tables on them by asking them to drag out a denarius and then say whose inscription is on the coin. After the religious leaders note that it is that of Caesar's, Jesus then asks another question: then why are you testing me? Interesting, don't you think, that of all the things Jesus sees playing out is not a bunch of religious folks sincerely wanting Jesus' opinion on whether they should obey the law of the land and pay taxes, but rather a bunch of hypocrites who have no intention of obeying any laws that affect their pocketbooks. It's a reminder of what sin and greed can do to a man's faith in God. Of course, Jesus would have none of their hypocrisy, yet I would hope that if Jesus were here today, he might at least agree with the assessment of how much we must pay in taxes made by the late great Judge Learned Hand, who said this: "The law does not require one to pay more in taxes than the law requires." Fair enough. But Tony, you might be thinking, this still does not curb the resentment I feel every time I see my taxes go up. So what do you have to say about that? Well, my friend, here's my take on the matter. This money that you and I possess, yes, money that we worked our tails off to save, in the scheme of things has nothing to do with God and his thoughts on how much we should pay in taxes, but rather this money and our desire to hold on to as much of it as we can. It has more to do with the testing of our faith in God and whether he can meet our needs when others come to take our stuff away from us. This human desire to hold tightly to what we have and not be content with others taking it from us is addressed in Watchman Nee's masterful work, Love Not the World, where Nee summarizes it this way: while we might do our best to hold tightly to our money, we must never grip that money so tightly as to overshadow our longing to hold on to what truly matters: our faith in God to provide all that we need. The Apostle Paul reminds us that it is not the amount of taxes we owe to Caesar that God is concerned about, but rather us being free from the cares of the world. It's also how we can learn to be content with what we have, because in the end, we must remember that we will not be able to take any of this stuff with us anyway. So here's my advice: plan in such a way to save as much as you can legally save on taxes. Well, absolutely. But know this, dear friend, whether you will pay little in taxes or fork over more than you feel is your fair share, no matter what the future taxes might be, you hold tightly to your faith in God, and I assure you that he will give back tenfold that which you must pay to others. And that's some good news you and I can take to the bank. Amen?
Thanks for watching. We hope you enjoyed that video. If you'd like, check out these other clips. And be sure to hit that like button and that subscribe button for more videos.